Hi, this is Editing Chasey. I'd like to go ahead and preface that, yes, I did think this footage was in focus, but I'm very low budget and very low time. So this video is coming out this week, and it will be out of focus. And I greatly apologize to Dave because he was honestly so fantastic. You'll see in this interview, he is amazing. He was so fun to talk to. And I feel so bad because this whole footage is so out of focus. I don't have a good mic. We're using my phone. I probably should have used someone's phone to just record in the first place, but it is what it is. But yeah, I know the footage is out of focus. It is what it is.
Hi everyone, welcome to the first episode of Dining Hall Dishes. I'm here with Dave Gomez. We're gonna be trying the Dining Hall's eggs, ham, and yogurt covered raisins, and just see what happens. Okay, so Dave, would you just tell them your name, your major, where you're from, and what grade you're in, just like the basic questions.
All right, well, my name is David Allen Gomez. I'm from Fresno, California, majoring in diplomacy with an additional 3 years for law school, and I'm currently a first-year student here at Seton Hall.
Wonderful. So, you mentioned you're from Fresno. What brought you all the way out here?
Well, there's a variety of reasons. I mean, the school had a great program for diplomacy, and the 3x3 was pretty appealing in the sense it would allow me to graduate with both my degrees a year earlier.
Yeah.
But I guess on a personal level, I don't know, it's just both of my siblings had gone to the university that's in Fresno State.
Okay.
Go Bulldogs. But I don't know, when you're the youngest in the family, you just kind of want to go and see more. You're sheltered more. You're viewed as the young one.
Yeah.
And I guess I wanted to go to some place where I wasn't the young one, I was just someone.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of... I'm also the youngest, so I feel a lot of that. Let's try these eggs. Yeah. Okay. I think they're pretty good for standard dining hall eggs.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably put ketchup on them, but I think they're good. They're hot
pretty good.
sauce. Yeah.
I would say definitely powdered eggs, but powdered eggs can still be pretty good.
I grew up going to summer camp, so like this is, like gourmet practically.
I don't know. Compared to my mom's cooking.
Better than your mom's cooking?
No.
Oh.
My mom's cooking infinitely
I was
better.
gonna say that's pretty impressive if it's better than your mom. So, what would you consider one of your funniest moments from high school?
Okay. I think one of my funniest moments from just kind of regular high school would be during the speech. I had to give a speech for graduation, and I had made a habit of telling really bad dad jokes.
Oh.
Pretty much every single event or gathering I went to. And so when I had a crowd of about 4,000 people, I kind of took the opportunity and I looked into the microphone and I said, "What do you call an old laundry basket?"
What do you call an old laundry basket?
A has-been.
Were you valedictorian? Is that why you were giving the speech?
I was.
Oh. Okay, this is going to be a weird question, but I feel like you're one of the most popular freshmen on campus. Have you always had such an outgoing and extroverted personality, or what would you attribute to that?
Actually, not really. During middle school and elementary, I was very much more reserved. Didn't really like talking much. I was very much an indoor kid.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit. And I don't know what it was, but just a year of being inside and looking through a screen just really makes you appreciate people a lot more. And after that, I just wanted to like go out, talk. I socialized a lot and just kind of did a full 180.
I'm sorry, I'm just noticing your cup says Uncle David. Is that an inside joke?
Yes and no. So this was given to me by my sister 2 years ago when she announced that she was having a kid.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And on the back, because of my chronic addiction to In-N-Out Burger, it's a bit of a 2-for-1.
I've actually only had In-N-Out once. We don't have them down south, but let's try the ham, and then I've got a good question for you.
Okay.
It's not bad.
Salty, but still got a good taste.
It feels like IHOP. Have you ever had their ham?
Yeah. I don't know. It's like sweet, a little salty. It reminds me of my aunt Isabella, but the family calls her the Ashubby. And every single Christmas, because Christmas was like our big family gathering, she would bring like this pineapple ham that was really tasty. But I swear, if you got like more than 3 slices, it was ridiculously salty. So you'd have like a gallon of water next to you as you ate it. But I always put it major dents in that thing.
I don't know if you remember, we met at open mic night, and I saw you perform. So, tell me a little bit about your music taste.
I like to listen to a little bit of everything, but the first kind of genre I really got into was country music, because both my brother and my sister really liked country, and as you know, their little sibling, I always listened to whatever they were listening to in the car, and just kind of came over. In fact, the first concert I ever went to was a Rascal Flatts concert.
Really? I love Rascal Flatts.
Yeah. Life is a highway, and I won't ride it all night long.
You should perform that at the next open mic night. Next one?
That would be a good idea.
I feel like that's a good crowd song too. Like everyone knows it.
Everyone loves cars.
So along with that, if you could be any celebrity for a day, who would you pick?
I could be any celebrity for a day. Living celebrity. Or
Okay, it can be alive or dead.
Robin Williams.
Robin Williams, that's a good choice. Why?
I think he just embodies so much of like the positive energy when it comes to laughter and just like Robin Williams was an interesting fellow in the sense that, you know, because of his death and because of his life, we know that he was going through like some really hard stuff, but he was still such a comedian. He was still such a person who could make people laugh, that had so many participatory roles and everything. And especially the thing that gets me is I was once reading online, and you know, don't trust everything you see online, but there was a story about a kid who had won a contest and actually got to be writing pen pal letters to Robin Williams.
Wow.
And he actually went to a meet and greet with Robin Williams. And when he introduced himself, Williams actually had the letters the kid would write him, like in his jacket pocket. And it's like just that little thing where it's like, you know, you always have this big gap between celebrities and the people who watch their movies and their crowds, but like sometimes those little things show that it's not always such a big a gap as you think. Sometimes it's on the same level.
Yeah, they're people too. Yeah, just like me and Dave, we're people too. All right, let's try the raisins. I'm just gonna pick them with my hand. I haven't had a yogurt covered raisin. I told you this since I was like a kid. Actually, that's really good.
No. Have you ever heard of the Sun-Made Raisin Company?
Yeah, I used to eat the raisin.
So, in Fresno is like the second major producer of raisins kind of in the world.
Really?
We used to be number 1, but I think we lost that to Turkey, so darn.
Turkey.
But the Sun-Made Raisin Corporation has offices right in Fresno, and every time we would have to go to Walmart, we would have to drive by the offices. So I feel like this weird, not really patriotism, because it's not like patriotic, but like this weird like connection to Sun-Made raisins. Like every time I see them in the store, I'm just like, I know those guys.
Like, those are my people. Cool. Who is one person you would say has inspired you most to get to the point where you are today?
wouldn't really say it's one person so much as it is the collective. Okay, so I once read a book called Dune, and have you ever read it?
I've seen the movies.
Well,
My dad's a big fan.
Yeah, it's a great book. I'd recommend it to anyone that would see it. And there's a really good line there where when Paul is watching his father kind of realize just how doomed they are in their situation, like with the Emperor setting a trap for them and all that. Sorry, spoilers.
It's okay.
He kind of has this moment of like pure hopelessness where where the father just rants and talks about how imminent death is and about how thin their facade of control. He's called the good duke, but he uses propaganda and manipulation to control his people. And Paul says the line, I can't read it verbatim, but it was something along the tone of, there is few more hopeless moments than when a son realizes his father isn't invincible. And I kind of had that moment with my own parents a while ago, and it makes you realize, both for better and worse, that there is no guide to living, certainly not a guide to parenting. Mm-hmm. And, for all the mistakes we make, at the end of the day, still gotta continue on. It's good and bad, and, some days we go back, some days we go forward, some days we're just trying to stay upright, but next day always comes.
Oh, this is editing Chasey again. Dave was so insightful in this moment, and I didn't know how to respond, so I literally, I can't play you back what I said because it's a bunch of nothing. That's all it is. It's just words that are said. It's not even sentences. But yeah, I'm not putting that to the world because that was not a good representation of me. But yeah, anyways, Dave was so insightful, and I think his comments were really great. So
I've met your roommate James. So I know you're in the honors college. What drove you to apply for the honors college? Was that always a plan, or did you just say?
So originally I actually wasn't going to do it. I'd kind of vowed to myself that I would just kind of, in high school, like I said about this writing, I put a lot of focus on academics. And don't get me wrong, academics are great. That's part of the reason why I'm here at this grade school. But I kind of put too much focus on it, and I at times kind of neglected, going out with friends, socializing, hanging out with family for the sake of doing more academics, APs. And I'm not going to say that, getting that top number one spot, getting to speak was worthless, but it certainly wasn't triumphant. It wasn't like this life-changing achievement. It was 4 minutes at a podium, certificate, and then you're on your way. At the end of the day, it's not who has the highest grades or anything like. No one's going to remember what I said at the valedictorian speech in 2024, but I definitely could have made memories that I remember for the rest of my days with my friends from high school.
You're so eloquent. But that's really beautiful. No, that makes sense. So, when did you decide to apply to the honors college eventually?
That would actually be only about maybe 4 weeks before actually coming to Seton Hall. And what kind of separated the honors college from just my regular thing with academics was that the honors college made it kind of clear that it was more about pondering the different religions and philosophies of life rather than just straight up academics. If it was just enhanced courses, rigorous classes, I probably wouldn't have done it. But there's this really good opportunity, and it happens in the class where we read something like, Genesis, Exodus. We literally last class we read some Buddhist literature, like the Deer Park Sermon and the Parable of the Arrow, and it's so fascinating to kind of get to talk in a group, and the classes are diverse in perspective. We read a Hinduist book a while ago, and we had someone who was practicing Hinduism. We had a practicing Buddhist in class while talking about Buddhist literature, and that just was it makes you think in a way you can't really think without someone else leading you there.
No, that's really beautiful. That makes sense. All right, well, we're running out of time here, Dave, but I just want to ask you if you could give one piece of advice to any incoming, I guess you're an incoming freshman, basically. We both are. But, like, anyone who's, I guess I'll say, anyone who's applying to college right now, what would you give them?
Things are not gonna go as planned. You will have moments when you feel like you have made a grave mistake and like canon. And sometimes you're gonna be right. Sometimes you're gonna make a decision that you gotta stick with for a long time. But even though that's the case, every decision can be made better or worse by how you respond. And while there's certainly decisions that are gonna feel horrible in the moment, it's okay. I mean, don't worry about being perfect about it. Humanity is a weak hypothesis. We are mistakes, sometimes. But in those mistakes, we make things beautiful.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Dave, for having this interview and being the first dining hall to dish. Yeah, I think that's it. Well, we need to pose for a thumbnail real quick. And one of those will be it.